All right, today we're going to be talking again about the new baby jack. This is the new jackhammer. If you haven't seen my other video, I go over all the real integral details of this bait, hook size, everything you want to know about it. I compare it to the Mini Max. So if you go back a couple videos ago, that'll give you all those details. And I'll hit some of that again here today as we're looking at this. But I want to go specifically over the trailers I like to use on this, and I want to do some comparison, when you would use each one, some ones I haven't even tried yet that I think are going to work really well on it. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to start with what I have on this one already, and that is the Chatter Shad. And this is the newer trailer that they came out with from Z-Man. It's got the joint here where it really gives it a lot of flex and bend. It's jointed in about 3 different spots. It's got that tail that it kicks. It's real nice, subtle side-to-side action, and it fits really well actually on this baby jack right here. You can see this one I would not even bother trimming. So like some of them I'll have to trim the skirt to make sure. I like to have that joint there, able to free flow side to side like that. So this one I'm not doing anything with. The idea with this Chatter Shad on here in the 4.5 inches, you're keeping your profile fairly large still. You're not going to like what you do with a Mini Max where it's got that real small body, and I'm going to put like a 2.5 to 3.5 inch bait on here, something tiny. This one with this setup is more when you're fishing some pressured fish that you need to give them a slightly different presentation. Instead of having that jackhammer with the bigger blade where it's thumping harder, this is that real tight, quick motion. It's vibrating just quick and violently and making lots of noise, but it's more of that finessey approach, but still keeping that profile bigger. So if they're not on real tiny bait or on smaller bait, this is where I would put that 4.5 inch Chatter Shad on there. And I'm going to compare this for you here with the 3.5. And actually, let me pull out a second one. I'm going to open up this other baby jack I got right here. That way I can hold them up side by side, really show you. Because what I'm going to do is put the Chatter Shad in the size that is slightly smaller. This is the 3.5 inch versus the 4.5, which the profile of that bait versus this one is significantly different. The hook on here is a 3.0, so it can take a pretty big bait. It's got the gap in there that you want. So this is actually going to look like a really small bait on here. Thread that right up. It has that double weed guard or double barb on there, which holds your trailer up. Once you get it on there, it does not come off, you can see. And right here, this is the 3/8 ounce baby jack. So you can see when I have this on there with that skirt like it is, it eats up a lot of that trailer. So what I would do, and I'm not going to do that for this one right away. I'll do this more so when I'm on the water. I would take my scissors and I would trim this right along that edge there because I want that joint to be going, and it'll make that thing flow a lot more naturally. But if you're fishing around bait that's small, or maybe you're just fishing around a lot of boats that are pressured and having just that smaller blade isn't enough, you want to get everything smaller and compact, that's where you're going to go with this. So comparing that baby jack with the 4.5 inch versus the 3.5 inch, you can see the two sizes right there. Really kind of gives you that good look at it. And they're two really good options. Now we're going to start playing with some things that are a little bit different. And again, we're going to do different profile sizes and really kind of showing you the two comparisons of the baits. So the next one I want to do, where you're getting that bigger action out of the Chatter Shad, going side to side, thumping a little bit, we're going to go something a little bit more finessey. We're going to do I'm going to sit one down real quick so I can rig this. These are the scented Jerk Shads, and I like to use these not only when I'm Damiki rigging or throwing at those floaters out there. I like to use them as a Chatterbait trailer. And this on here is the 4 inch. This one here is a 3.5 or 3.75, I believe. So you got two different sizes. I'll match them that they fit. Oops, dropped one. That they match the profile. And again, you're just going to put this thing straight on there. The scented Jerk Shad's got that scent on them, so it kind of leaves you a little trail of scent there for a while too, which can be good. Definitely not going to hurt you. And I'm going to put this up there. Got that one on. It's fairly straight. It's not, if I was fishing it, I would make it a little bit straighter, but just for presentation here, I'm not going to go crazy. Get this guy on here. That's that slightly bigger one. And we're going to slide that up just like so. And now we got the two of them on there. So the smaller one here, you can see again, it's going to have that skirt that eats up a lot of the bait right there. Can you see that? So that may be a little bit better if I show it to you that way. And it's going to have a really small, tight, this thing's going to vibrate like crazy. The tail's going to go back and forth, but it's going to go quickly. It's not going to be doing the wider swing where you're going to get that wide wobble. With the Chatter Shad, it's also going to have a little bit more of that natural hunt because it's going to grab water. And then when I say natural hunt, it's going to be vibrating. Instead of just going in a straight line, it's going to be going in a straight line. It'll kick off and side to side. And that really gets a lot of fish to react a lot of times. So that's where you don't have to put as much effort into using it because it's going to work on itself on its own. This one here, you're going to have to do maybe give it a little rip, pause, turn your reel handle every once in a while a little bit faster to get that thing to dart. But this, it's a really good trailer. They works well. This one here, I would not, the 4-inch one, I won't even bother trimming that at all. Like I would just leave that skirt how it is. This one, I would want to trim it up here just to kind of balance it out. But that's option number 2 from the Chatter Shad to the set of Jerk Shad. And then I got 3 more I still want to show you. The next one is, again, we're going to do a 3-inch versus 4-inch size comparison. This one is going to actually push more water. And why it's going to do that, because the swim bait we're going to be using, it's a diesel minnow, or the smaller one, the 3 inches, just called the minnows. And as you can see, this is on there because those barbs, it really holds on there. So we're going to do the diesel minnows. So the 3-inch, I'm going to match up with my white baby jack here. And this is actually what I use on the Mini Max a lot. I really like that bait on there. It pushes water. It's a good size. With the boot tail, as it's coming through the water, it really kicks a lot more. So it is something I'll use if I'm trying to make more of a disturbance. A lot of times in the spring, thump's good. You want those fish to feel it every which way. Again, here with that 3-inch, I would trim just a tiny bit of that. I wouldn't go real crazy, but I would want to get to probably right about where it starts to narrow down a little bit and become uniform. If you just cut that maybe a 1/4 inch off of your trailer, or I'm sorry, of your jig skirt to your trailer to make that thing get that widest action, that would be perfect. Get a lot of wobble to it. And then we're going to show you with the 4-inch. And the 4-inch I really like. This has been one of those baits that the 4-inch diesel minnow just gets bit. You put it on a jig head and just cast it out there and reel it. Everything eats it. You catch them really well on it. And we can get that guy up there. Again, it's not the street. Yeah, that one's not bad, actually. Hey, this one here, I would not trim the skirt at all. It fits well on there. Actually, that's good. It's just kind of twisted a little bit. But that's going to give you that wider wobble. You'll be able to get it going. But with a 3/0 hook, that fits really well on there. You got that gap in there, which is going to let those fish come up, grab a hold of it, and they're really going to get a good hook in the roof of their mouth. So we can see that guy there, Last Tech, like we were talking before. That's always one of my favorites because you don't have to worry about putting a million trailers on a day. If you go through 2 of these things, it means you caught the crap out of them. So just hold these up. You can compare the two. That's right here's the minnows. This is the 4-inch diesel minnow. And they are 2 very good ones to use as a trailer for this guy. So we got one more that I want to show you. And I did one of these comparison videos years ago with the Mini Max when it first came out. So if you want to see that, you can go back. The fact that Z-Man's got a lot more trailers out now and I guess I've opened my eyes up to a couple other things over the years, but it's really made you have a lot more options. So this one here is called the Drop Kicker. It's actually, a lot of people use this I specifically use this for drop shotting. It came out last fall, and I've caught a lot of Really good smallmouth on this thing. It's got just a really subtle, like kind of like a wedge tail. It's what they very similar. I don't know if you can see over there, the Molotron. It's got a similar tail to that, where it's that just wedge boot sort of thing. It's not a true boot, like where this guy, I would call that the true boot. This one here, it makes it where it goes and just wobbles almost in a straight line versus the boot tail that kind of kicks all over and like rolls and does all sorts of stuff. So let me show you this, because this comes in two sizes. This comes in a 275 and I believe this one's a 3.5 inch. Yes. I want to make sure I told you the right info. I have a pack of it right there. And this one, I have not tried the 275. I think it's gonna be too small. I would put it on the Mini Max, but this guy, it just makes this nice and sleek. It's narrow. Stretch that out a little bit, get that sitting a little bit straighter. This one, you will trim your skirt as well. You're going to trim it just a little bit. Again, like that, probably 1/8 to 1/4 inch. It's going to give it that nice action. And when this comes through, it's going to just give it that wobble. So what it's going to be like, I would say it's going to be between the scented Jerk Shad, which is your fluke style bait, and your boot tail. So if you don't want as much action as you get out of the diesel minnow, but you want more action than you get out of the scented Jerk Shad, that is when you're going to go with the drop kicker. So it's just kind of a good all-around happy medium sort of thing. I think you'll really enjoy using that on there, and I believe it's going to help you catch a lot more fish. So if you got something that you are using on your either Mini Max or what you plan on using for your baby jack, I'd love to hear it. Put them in the comments below. I'm always open to trying new things. I hope you catch a lot of fish on it. I hope you can get your hands on them, because they are going to be tough, I think, in the beginning. Once they get rolling over, we'll have plenty for everybody. But in the beginning, might be something new. I know I'm going to be throwing it the first couple tournaments before it comes out, and I hope I can capitalize on it and really put a couple extra fish in the boat because of it. So thanks for watching this comparison video on different Z-Man trailers for the baby jack. I hope it helps you. If you have any questions, again, put them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a really great day, and I will talk to you again soon. See you later.